Hi guys, I want to talk about our devotional guide. And if you haven't already downloaded the devotional guide on growingmessiah.com, I'd encourage you to do that. You can find it on our website. You can also find it in the description of this video. And all of the guides and resources that to help people come closer to Christ, all of them on Growing in Messiah have been designed specifically for me and my wife. We actually design things that we need and that we are trying to use ourselves. And so the reason that I created this devotional guide was because I wanted something to help me in my morning devotions as I kind of went through my Bible passage. I always read a psalm. I always try to read a passage out of the scriptures as well. And then I have a prayer list that I go through every week. And then I also have a couple other things that I'm going to talk about. We had a devotional guide on growinginmessiah.com and I've revised it. So if your devotional guide looks different than the one that I have that I'm going to show you in just a second, then I would encourage you to go back to your link and re-download that again, because it's going to look a bit different. Basically what I've done is I've printed this out now, and I've printed it out in black and white, although you can get it in color. So this is kind of what it looks like. And there are basically four main sections. And let's go over these sections real quick. There is a place to put down what psalm you're covering, what Bible passage you're covering, the date, and then also there's three other sections on. You can see on this side right here, I have a prayer list. And so all of this has been kind of tailored to the way that I do my devotions. You might do your devotions differently, but this is maybe just something to help you kind of kickstart getting your devotions going. If you're doing devotions already, great, and congratulations. And maybe this will help you kind of structure your devotions a little bit better. If you aren't doing devotions, I would encourage you to try to set aside time. Start slow, start with 5 to 10 minutes a day, and you can add time as it becomes a regular habit. Okay, so let's go over this real quick. The top two sections are pretty obvious. There is notes on your psalm. So as you're reading a psalm, if you have any thoughts or if you have any questions or anything like that, that's where you would write those down. The next section is your Bible passage and Bible passage notes. Once again, same kind of thing. If you have anything that you think of while you're reading the passage or any questions that you might have for your pastor or for a study group or a Bible study or something like that, then that's where you'd write those down. And then, by the way, these are printable, and I'm working on a digital version right now, but I made these printable, so print out as many as you want, and I actually put them in a 3-ring binder, and then I just have a ton of them, and I can pull them out whenever I want to. Then the last two sections might be a little bit different than what you're used to. The first one is things I need to work on. The reason I did this was because as you go through these devotional notes, you can save them. And then in a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, you can go back and you can kind of look at where you've been and the progress that you've made and how the Lord has helped you and how your devotions have progressed. So things I need to work on could be anything from things you want to work on personally in terms of maybe you need to work on one of the things that, I'll just use myself as an example. One of the things that I've prayed for recently and tried to work on is being more patient with my children. And so I've kind of tried to map out my progress in that. And so now I can go back and look at my devotional sheets and I can see the progress that I've made. And so it could be other things too. It could be things at work. Maybe you need to work on a specific project that you want to get done, or maybe there are things at home that you want to try to accomplish. So basically this is just something that you can track your progress in personal things in life or in whatever it may be. Maybe you are starting a Bible study and you need to work on getting materials together. Maybe you have just joined a church and you want to work on getting to know the people there. It doesn't matter. It's really just a section to be able to write down things that are on your mind and things that you can track. And then finally, the last one is things I'm grateful for in the past week or so. The reason that I put this in is because I think it's really important that we see and that we continue no matter what our situation is, no matter if life is hard, if we're happy, sad, whatever it is. I think it's really important for us to try to be grateful for the situations that we're in and realize that all things do work together for good for those who are called according to the promise. And so I would encourage you, if you're using this worksheet, to write down things that you are grateful for. If nothing else, just to try to be thankful to the Lord for what He has given you. And then the prayer list is actually something that I use on a daily basis. And one of the reasons why is because it, I can go back and I can look at things that I've been praying for in the past, things that have been troubles, things that have been blessings, whatever it may be. And I can just list, I just use maybe 2 or 3 words to describe. Sometimes I'll write more, but and you can use, of course, other, have a notebook or whatever if you need more paper. And I just write down what I'm praying for in the day. I try to write down 10 things every single day. I try to write down 10 things that I've prayed for, and it doesn't have to be long or anything like that, but it gets you in the habit of trying to pray for friends, family, situations, work, all that kind of stuff. And so what that does is, if you write it down, you can go back once again in a year or whatever, and you can see, wow, how this situation actually worked out, how the Lord's hand was obviously in this. And so this is how I use this devotional guide. And I would encourage you to print out as many as you want. Make a 3-ring binder if you want to, and put as many in there as you need. And then just pull them out from, every day or whenever you do your devotions, and use it as a guide. I hope that it is a blessing to you, and I hope that you will be able to utilize it in your devotions. Thanks a lot, guys.